computer is picking up a strange signal. Here, sir, you better take a look at
it. Hello, and welcome to episode 120 of Life Through a Prism with your host, Rob Tierney. In this podcast, we may cover topics including LGBTQIA+, disability and pop culture. In this episode, we're going to be looking at a disability topic from theconversation.com entitled How Stores Fighting Thieves Risk Putting Off Shoppers with Disabilities and Kids by Paul Harpur and Lisa Stafford, published December 16, 2025. Welcome! The sign at the supermarket entrance says, above a drawing of a shopper walking in and pushing a trolley. But for many shoppers, especially those with wheelchairs, walkers or pushing kids in prams, it looks anything but welcoming. 10 white battens stretch into the middle of the entryway, which you have to push through to enter. A Reddit user snapped the photo at Woolworths store in a suburban Melbourne this month and it soon went viral. According to Woolworths, it's a trial at just one store being tested to see if it deters thieves. Retail theft is a huge growing problem in Australia. There were more than 268,000 cases of theft in retail settings last year, according to data released in September. That came after 2024 research found record levels of shoplifting, employee theft, fraud and customer aggression costing up to 7.79 billion Australian dollars. Woolworths is not alone in trialling tougher physical security measures. Other supermarkets here and in New Zealand have used this style of entry before. Kmart, Bunnings and other retailers are also testing new styles of security gates. But as researchers in disability discrimination and inclusive planning, this new Woolworths entry appears to be the most overtly hostile and potentially unsafe design we've seen in Australia retail to date. If this is where retail security is headed, it could have unwelcome, unintended consequences for millions of Australians. One design does not fit all. More than 1 in 5 Australians, around 5.5 million people, have a disability of some kind. This includes millions of older Australians. More than half of Australia's 4.2 million people aged 65 and over live with disabilities. Others also live with chronic health conditions. Then there are around 1.5 million kids aged 4 or under, many of them pushed around in strollers. Some of those millions of people may feel fine and be able to walk upright through a batten barrier entry. But what if you're a parent pushing a toddler in a low stroller, or in a wheelchair and using walking sticks, or totally blind and using a guide dog? Would you feel comfortable using that trial Woolworths entrance? The day-to-day reality millions of Australians live with is that too many public places are not designed with us in mind. Why do universal versus hostile design matter? The idea of universal design is designed for everyone, our different sizes, ages and bodies, and the different ways we think, feel and experience space. When we start from that perspective, we end up designing spaces that work better and are safe for everyone. In contrast to universal design, hostile or defensive architecture is when you design something to deter antisocial behaviour, often justified as crime prevention measures. Examples of hostile design include benches with armrests in the middle of the seat to stop anyone lying down, metal studs on ledges, window sills or under bridges deter sitting or sleeping, concrete seating or leaning benches so people can't sit or linger long. These are usually targeted at young and homeless people, but they often end up affecting others in the process with dangerous unintended consequences. For instance, if you're an older person or a person with fatigue, if you're in an area with hostile architecture, you'll typically find far few places to stop, rest and be safe. That kind of ableism, prioritising the needs of people without disability over everyone else, ends up excluding people from using everyday spaces. That's what researchers Imogen Howe and Sheila Daniels-Mays have called the silent violence of ableism in architecture. Unfortunately, it's deeply embedded in design and planning. Big retailers can set the bar higher. The two biggest supermarkets, Woolworths and Coles, have often been better than many other retailers at creating more accessible stores. They generally have wider aisles, making it easier to safely navigate in a wheelchair or walker than many smaller, more crowded stores. They've both introduced things like quiet hours to reduce the sensory load for shoppers at certain times of the week, and they've been named employers for people with disabilities. Responding to questions from the conversation, Woolworths confirmed the trial in Melbourne is still going on and said, "If a customer uses a mobility aid or is unable to use the entry for any reason, we encourage them to let a team member know so they can use an alternate entry. We will carefully assess customer feedback on this trial." The next time a major retailer is looking to design a new entry to deter thieves, best practice would be to seek community engagement first and co-design a solution that actually works for everyone. My thoughts on this. The response from Woolworths is just what I would expect from them. Tone deaf. So here they are putting the onus on the disabled person to seek out a team member. If they can find one, then possibly going a longer way to get into the store. What about people with high anxiety and the thought of trying to find someone sends their anxiety into overdrive? And I could go on and on. Sometimes going somewhere else with your wallet is the only way that some places may get the hint if their profit margins are severely lessened. But for some of us, we don't have the privilege of being able to choose somewhere else to shop. The early statistics in the article, I'll just repeat them. 5.5 million people have a disability of some kind. This includes millions of older Australians. More than half of Australia's 4.2 million people aged 65 and over live with disabilities. Others also live with chronic health conditions. Then there are around 1.5 million kids aged 4 or under, many of them pushed around in strollers. There's a lot of money in that. What do you think? Have you found access to your favourite supermarket or store has changed, so you're unable to access it the way you used to? Would love to hear your thoughts. Let's have a conversation. Till next time, take care and bye for now.